Well, I've been listening to a bunch of this talking that's been going on amongst all these fellas, having all these politicians, everything, buddy. All this stuff on YouTube, them fellers over there in that World Economic Forum and everything. And have you ever sat and listened to a bunch of uh, starlings or English sparrows or blackbirds sitting on a telephone wire somewhere, some kind of a line, just chattering away about? Well, that sort of sounds to me like all the stuff I've been hearing. And not only that, the results of it is about the same as them birds sitting over my car. When they get done and all yelling all the stuff out of their mouth, they're done shooting all the stuff out the other end, and I got that crap all over my car. And that's just about the way it goes. Well, I finally, I've told you before, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And there's only two things, there's two powers in this world, two authorities. One of them is God. The other one is the adversary of God, or Satan, or Lucifer, or whatever you want to call him. Now, that goes right along with the whole idea there's good and there's evil. There's right and there's wrong. There's no in between. Everybody talks about a gray area. All my lifetime, 3/4 of a century, I've never actually been able to find a gray area anywhere. No, just ain't there. So no matter what it is, whether it's politics or anything else, that's just like them political parties. That Democratic National Party and that Republican National Party. Uh, when you get to looking real close at the Constitution, you go reading what them fellers believe back there that wrote it, and John Adams and Thomas Jefferson's, them all them guys that signed the Declaration of Independence and then were put in to come up with that Constitution. They did not believe in a two-party system. And as far as they were concerned, a two-party system was unconstitutional after they got the Constitution ratified. Now we got all these lawyers and stuff. We got all these politicians that are lawyers. We got some doctors that are politicians and such. But you know that Esquire that lawyers are always so fond of? Now that was an English title. That was somebody that was in line to become a knight. And that's unconstitutional to use that. That whole bar association. If you look at it just right and you read the Constitution and you kind of worry about what original intent was and what they had to put up with in the European countries, that bar association ain't legal. Isn't constitutional. Now that I was reading an article about this Grand Federation, Federal something or other, that's over the justices, Supreme Court justices and everything that they all belong to. Now that's not kosher, as some of my friends might say. Because this is the United States of America. It's based upon liberty. It's based upon freedom of choice. It has a principle of freedom of speech. It has a principle of freedom to defend yourself. against aggressors. And that goes on, it carries on all through everything. And when I contemplate that, I get to thinking about being over there in Ukraine. We're supplying the weapons and the money. Are we just hiring Ukrainian mercenaries to do our fighting? Don't sound right to me. Now, I was in the Navy back when old President Johnson sent the troops into Vietnam. By 1967, when my enlistment was up, I had read, I had studied, and I had come to the conclusion that was none of our business what they were doing over there. We wasn't supposed to be there. It was wrong. Well, 50-some thousand of my friends and fellow servicemen gave up their lives for that. And then I got to looking back that Clint Eastwood made a movie about a Marine sergeant. I think it was Hamburger Hill or something like that. I forget the name of it now. But they wound up down there in President Reagan's time on Grenada and rescued the Americans that were down there. Well, that was all right. They left, came home. Now, if you get to looking real close at that Constitution, we the people have been footing the bill and footing the blood and footing the sweat and footing the tears for them politicians and lawyers and other such people, them MBAs and them CEOs and everything, for far too long. And most of it hasn't been constitutional. It's corruption of the Constitution, beginning with the Alien and Sedition Acts under John Adams, going up through to the Indian Removal Acts under that Andrew Jackson feller and everything that came after that, up into the Civil War. Oh, you get to looking. We're going to have, my way of thinking, we got a lot to repent for in front of God, because we have allowed many things to happen, and we have supported many things happening that were not right. We're not in keeping with our law. We're not in keeping with our morality. I got to think about this some more, and I'll come back with something else. Thank you.